everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today, I'm going to be doing a little bit of like a get ready with me, kind of. I'm just going to be doing my makeup, and kind of a makeup tutorial. So, this is just going to be a very natural, kind of, a natural blingy, if that makes sense. But I just got out of the shower, face is clean and moisturized, so now let's get right to it. So, first, I'm going to use my concealer and a teensy-weensy bit of foundation. I use the Revlon Ultra Filter foundation in the color 220 Natural Beige. So, you just twist the bottom and the product comes out. It is one of my favorite products and a lifesaver for dance and stuff when you can't bring a whole thing of foundation. It's almost out. When you can't bring a whole thing of foundation, but you need to be able to touch up. But I don't use a lot. I just put it on the little trouble spots and use my beauty blender. I have two beauty blenders. This one, which is a softer, spongier one, which I use for concealer, and this bigger one, which I use, which isn't as spongy, which I use. And if you see me looking over here, that means that's because my mirror, that's why I have such good lighting today, because I have this mirror. This is already taking way too long. Okay, now I'm going to use this is the Merlin Norman Dual Action Concealer Corrector. I don't know what color this is. This is in the color medium light neutral. Long name. We're just gonna, two dots. Now I'm gonna use my spongy one. And I know like you're not supposed to do this, but I kind of rub it just to get it like distributed, and then I tap. This is my amazing mirror. I love this mirror. But okay. Now that is done, we are gonna set kind of that's all I do with my face. Now I'm gonna use the Unique Touch Behold Translucent Setting Powder. This is the loose powder. My mom uses the pressed powder. I personally like this one. It came with this big brush, this big fluffy brush, but I like to use this brush, which it's not only prettier, but it's better for me. You can see all the powder. Now that we have that done, now we're going to move on to some of my favorite parts, like bronzer. I love bronzer and highlighter and blush. So I'm using this palette, which has highlighter, blush, and bronzer, and it is the Ulta Beauty collection. I'm using the blush brush because it's a really small blush brush. Like, you really want to use that? So I use it for contour. Well, bronzer and contour are the same thing. Like, don't even come at me in like the community post or comments saying no, they're different. They're not. They're both for like making the angle of your face look better. So there's a shimmery one and a matte one, and I just use it and bend it. I know it looks like I have a lot on right now, but then I blend it out in a second. But I'm going to use my powder brush, and I'm going to blend it out. Okay. Now we're going to move on to highlight. I know a lot of people that use like these types of brushes, like little small ones, or like these. I don't. I use the same brush, and I normally go with the pearl highlighter. Sometimes I do the champagne highlighter or very rarely go with the gold, but I've never used the pink. But as you can see, I always use the pearl, which I love it, and it's so pretty. So I'm gonna use that one. Okay. Now I'm done with that palette. Now I'm gonna move on to blush. One of my favorite parts. This is the MAC Melba Matte blush. I'm gonna use this brush. I have no idea where it's from. Oh, it's Merle Norman. It's the powder brush, but it's slanted, which is great for blush. So I don't really like to go for a more kawaii look, you know. So I do it on the apples of my cheeks, normally a lot, and then I don't do it down the nose. I do it on the end of my nose. So I look really sweet and cute. Okay. Now get to do one of my my absolute. No, this isn't my absolute favorite. We're gonna do. I gotta grab more palette. Hold on. My absolute. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's fun to do, which is, drumroll please, eyebrows. And I just use this little, this is the angle liner brush by Cheek or Keek. Hold on. Yeah, and I use a little bit of my bronzer, and I know a lot of people that tint their they go in on their skin. What people don't know is actually filling in your brows is meant to dye the hairs on your brow, not to color in all the color, not to color in all the skin underneath. So I did those. Now for my absolute favorite, eyeshadow. Okay, so I'm going to be using my bronzer and my blush both in my eyeshadow look today. But I use a lot of stuff on I do a lot of stuff with a lot of eyeshadows. So I'm going to use, this is the Unique Moodstruck Liquid Shadow in the color Giggly. And I'm going to take this. You can't really tell on camera what it looks like. It looks the exact same. Once I start layering stuff on top of it and adding onto it, you will. Now this is the Cheek, Keek, whatever you want to call it. This is the crease brush. You cannot see it at all. And it's firmer, so it's good for blending out liquid shadows. Okay. Now I'm gonna use my blush, and I'm gonna go in with this brush that came from the same pack with my powder brush. And I'm gonna use this. Normally I like to get a lot of product and go in my crease. And so I go in with my crease. Now I'm going to use, this is the Unique Products blending brush. It's a really big poofy brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of product and buff out the edges and go a little bit under the lid. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to use my bronzer, which I don't use too much of. That I use the Ulta Beauty crease brush, one of my absolute favorite brushes. And I'm going to go in with the shimmer bronzer, and I'm just going to go under the eye and also use this to buff out the edge of Giggly. looks really orange in person. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm kind of liking it. Okay. Now I'm going to use this. This is a single MAC eyeshadow. This is the color Expensive Pink. And I'm going to use my blending brush from Younique. And once again, buff out the edges of my bronzer and Giggly. And my blush. This is like a very subtle. It's a pretty color. And I use it a lot with other looks, but I'm not going to use it a lot. Now, I use the MAC Studio palette. This is the eyeshadow Barely Nude palette. I love this pink color right here. So I'm going to use my blending brush and this pink and this middle pink color and a little bit of this brown next to it. More pink though. And yet again, buff out those edges and go underneath. Now, I'm going to use this cream shadow it's called Chilled on Ice Pro Longwear Paint Pot. It is Makeup Art, I think it's Makeup Art Cosmetics, but it's really pretty. It's like this, it's called Chilled on Ice, and I use my finger and put this right in the middle of the lid. Okay, and I will blend this out with my, guess what? Blending brush. Okay. And sometimes I have to use my hand since it's cream. Okay. And that's basically all I do with my eyes. Now, mascara. I use this is going to be a really long video, and I'm sorry. I'm going to try to make it only like 15 minutes. This is the Falsies Lashes Mascara by Essence. I love it. No clumps whatsoever. Love this. And you just wiggle it and hold it for a few seconds. Oh. My beautiful eyeshadow. Okay. And then, ow. Only good makeup artists poke their eyeball. Oh, ow. And I have my contacts in too. That felt good. Okay, I'm gonna have to. Okay. I will clean this up before I leave. Oh my gosh, look at my finger. Okay, whatever. Okay, it's fine. Now I use 2 lip glosses and 1 shadow, actually. Now I'm gonna use this is the e.l.f. lip lacquer in the color Mauve Glitz. It's really pretty. And I use this on my lips first. Now, this is going to be a long video. I'm going to use MAC Studio. I'm going to use that same eyeshadow that I used before and put it Pop it in the middle of my lip. And I'll use the Target Beauty lipstick. I don't know what color this is. And I just use this over top. And that is my makeup look. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on those hashtag post notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. Bye!